Almost every lawyer agrees that marketing matters. And then a Tuesday happens, the phone rings, a filing is due, a client is upset, and the marketing just does not get done. A week goes by, then a month, then a year, and almost none of it happens. So today is about the smallest possible version of marketing, the version that survives a busy Tuesday. Stay with me, because by the end I will give you the single habit that if you did nothing else will change your entire year. This is not legal advice. See the full disclaimer at the end. I am Robert Bunn, and this is Estate Planning for Lawyers with me, Robert Bunn. If you are new here, the idea of this channel is simple. I work through the books that teach lawyers how to build a practice, one chapter at a time, and pull out what actually matters most to me. If that sounds what you are looking for, go ahead and subscribe. That way, the next one comes to you, instead of you having to come find it. In this episode 13, I'm covering the 5 marketing habits from How Good Attorneys Become Great Rainmakers, a breakthrough referral and marketing process by Mark Powers and Shawn McNalis, published by Atticus. If you do not already have a copy of this book, I encourage you to get one so you can follow along. Let us get into it. There's a Spanish proverb the authors put at the top of the chapter. Habits are first cobwebs and then cables. That is the whole idea. The small repeated actions that feel flimsy and optional at first become the strongest part of your practice over time. Powers and McNalis lay out 5 of them. I am going to walk you through all 5 and tell you which one matters most. The first habit is the one to build everything else on. Make 3 marketing contacts a week, not a campaign, not a funnel. 3 real conversations a week with people who can send you clients. The authors point out the simple math. 3 a week is about 150 a year. If you did nothing else, that alone would put you ahead of most attorneys who in a good week manage 1. And a contact here is not a wave across the room. They mean something substantial. 20 minutes to an hour, a lunch, a call, a real conversation, long enough to actually connect. They even cite research that after about 12 minutes of genuine conversation, 2 people start feeling a connection. Double that, and you are building a relationship. At this level, marketing is mostly a numbers game, and the number is how many people you actually talk to. The second habit is asking for referrals, and this is the one that most attorneys avoid. No one wants to sound desperate or like they're begging for business. The authors are direct about the fix, and they treat it as a secret. The best referral request does not start with "I need clients." It starts with a thank you and a compliment. You tell a client you valued working with them, that your practice is built on referrals from people like them, and that you would be glad to help anyone they send. Said like that does not land like a pitch. It lands as gratitude, and they make a fair point. Do not assume people already know you welcome referrals. Most of them do not. It is your job to let them know. The third habit they call sharpening the saw. If their phrase rings a bell, that's because Stephen Covey made it famous as the 7th habit in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The practice of regularly renewing your own skills so you do not fall behind. Stay sharp as a marketer by reading a marketing book or article, or going to a workshop about once a quarter. A small input regularly so the other habits do not go stale. Here's a piece of trivia in a genuinely useful recommendation. The original 2009 edition of this book actually handed you a reading list, and one of the titles was Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi, which is still one of the better books on building relationships and referrals. The updated edition trimmed that list, but the recommendation holds up, so I'm passing it along here. The 4th habit is simple and easy to skip. Say thank you every time someone sends a referral. And here's the part that matters most. Thank them even when the referral did not become a client, because you are not thanking them for the outcome. You are thanking them for thinking of you, and you want them to keep doing it. A card, a call, small gift. It is small, and it compounds. And the 5th habit is adding names. Add at least 5 new people to your network every month. The author suggests meeting them through the bar, community work, service clubs, and causes you genuinely care about. That last part matters. Join things you are actually interested in, because people can tell the difference between someone who shows up to network and someone who shows up because they actually care. Here's what I notice when I look at these 5 together. They are not 5 separate projects. They are one weekly rhythm. The 3 contacts put you in front of people. The asking and the thanking turn those contacts into referrals, and they keep them coming. The adding names habit feeds the top of the funnel, so you never run dry, and sharpening saw keeps the whole thing from going stale. Miss one for a week and nothing breaks. Miss the same one for a year and you feel it. That is the quiet danger the authors are pointing at. None of these is hard on any given day, which is exactly why they are so easy to skip and so worth protecting. So if you made me keep only one of these 5, it is the first one. 3 contacts a week. Everything else, the asking, the thanking, the adding names, tends to fall into place once you're in front of people regularly. That is a habit that survives a busy Tuesday because it is small enough to actually do. If I had to point to the habit that matters most and gets skipped most, though, it's the asking. Most attorneys avoid it because they do not want to sound like a salesperson. And I understand that completely. But the author's reframe is the unlock. When the request starts as gratitude instead of need, it stops being a pitch and becomes a relationship. That is the one I would tell you to put your attention on. A quick note on where we are in the series. These 5 habits are the routines underneath everything else. They are not on the asset list. Starting next episode, we begin the 21 assets themselves in order, and the first one is the foundation the rest are built on. Next time, we leave the habits and build the first actual asset. Asset number 1, the top 20%. It starts with a surprisingly short list, about 20 people, who quietly drive most of the referrals you will ever get. Figuring out who belongs on that list is the most important exercise in the book. I also keep an email list. If you would like to join, the link is in the description. Quick reminder, nothing in this podcast or video is legal advice, and no attorney-client relationship is formed by listening, watching, commenting, or reaching out. The information presented here is general and educational, and is not a substitute for advice from a licensed attorney in your jurisdiction reviewing your specific facts. The views I share are my own on behalf of Bunn Law, PLLC. All Rights and How Good Attorneys Became Great Rainmakers, a Breakthrough Referral Marketing Process by Mark Powers and Shawn McNalis, published by Atticus, belong to their respective owners. My discussion is commentary and analysis, and neither the authors nor the publisher have endorsed or affiliated with this show. If you are serious about building an estate planning practice, the books authored by Mark Powers and Shawn McNalis deserve a permanent place on your shelf. We will be working through more of their books in this series, so make sure you subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next from Estate Planning for Lawyers. I look forward to welcoming you in the next video. And that next episode is right here on your screen. Go ahead and click it, and I will see you there. Until next time.